Sawadee-ka. Thank you for joining us in Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and also on NBT World. It's a Tuesday today and the date is April 19th of 2016 and my name is Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, the government has initiated consideration of an award for recently named world #1 badminton player Ratchanok Intanon, or May, in recognition of her contribution to the kingdom's image. According to the government, the award would encourage youths to view Ratchanok as a role model and take up sports and athletics. Deputy Prime Minister General Prawit Wongsuwon lauded Ratchanok after she took the championship at the 2016 Singapore Open, which resulted in her becoming the world's #1 player in women's badminton. The Ministry of Tourism and Sports has been tasked with creating an award to repay Ratchanok for using her skills to enhance Thailand's prestige. The Deputy Prime Minister for Legal Affairs has assured the general public that this administration will hold general elections in 2017. Deputy Prime Minister Wisnu Krangam yesterday said that he considers the network of academics for civil rights announcement to oppose the new draft constitution an academic view and not an attempt to manipulate opinion. However, he added that it remains to be seen how the academics present their views and if there is any distortion of facts before it can be determined if they are breaking any laws. Concerning opposition to the draft charter, the Deputy Prime Minister reiterated the position of the Ministry of Interior, which suggested that some 50 million eligible voters have the ultimate power to decide if the country's new version of its highest law will be accepted or rejected. He also denied that the government was not preparing a contingency plan in the event that the draft charter is rejected in the public referendum. The Election Commission, or EC, has now scheduled a date for the public referendum on the draft charter. EC Deputy Secretary General Bunyagiyat Rakchajaran said that the Commission has resolved to set August 7th as the date of the public referendum, as all details and conditions for the process have already been settled. When asked about a campaign to boost voter turnout, Mr. Bunyagiyat said such an initiative now awaits the public referendum law to come into effect before the EC can discuss such details. The EC's senior expert, Thanit Sipratet, disclosed that the electoral body also resolved to publish 1 million copies of the draft constitution and 4 million copies of the principles and rationale involved in the public referendum question, along with a summary and explanation of the Charter's 10 key points. Mr. Thanit said that from May 23rd onward, these copies will be distributed through provincial administrative offices across the country, as well as the National Legislative Assembly, the Constitution Drafting Commission, and all 5 democratic learning centers of the EC. Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs Somkit Jatusipitak has instructed the Government Savings Bank, or GSB, to lend more low-interest loans to grassroots people, and the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, to attract private sector investment. Dr. Somkit on Monday chaired a meeting with representatives from the GSB, the BAAC, the Export-Import Bank of Thailand, or Exim Bank, and the Government Housing Bank, or GHB. The meeting was held to follow up on the bank's performance in accordance with the government policy. During the meeting, the Deputy Prime Minister said the GSB is the Bank of the People and it can extend loans to low and middle income earners to start their own businesses. Dr. Somkit also said that the BAAC should encourage the private sector to buy agricultural products from farmers and prepare funds to deal with the drought crisis, which could worsen before the arrival of the rainy season. Private entrepreneurs have proposed that the government allow them to wholly invest in the Lam Chabang Port Phase 3 project. Transport Minister Akom Tampitya Phaisit led a group of private operators to have a meeting with Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusi-Pitak with an aim to enable them to learn more about the government's investment policy for the development of Phase 3 of Lam Chabang Deep Sea Port. During discussions, the operators suggested amendments to the previous joint investment deal, in which the government would contribute 37 billion baht in capital and the private sector another 46 billion baht. They proposed that the private sector take over the entire project and that the concession remain in effect for 60 years. The government will have to study related laws and consult the State Enterprise Policy Office. Bilateral meetings were recently held between Thai and Cambodian labor officials to discuss cooperation on illegal labor, as well as the ongoing work at the Cambodian Thai Skill Development Center in Phnom Penh. And joining us on the line now to talk to us about these high-level meetings is Kun Suthi Sukoson, Inspector General of the Ministry of Labor. Kun Suthi, Swatika, how are you this morning? Good morning, Kun Suthi.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Now, let me ask you, I understand that the meetings were held on April 6th and 7th. What were some of the resolutions made at these meetings?
The meetings agree to many resolutions that would benefit Thai employers and Cambodian workers. First of all, according to the Cambodian side's request, the Cambodian workers were allowed to go home during the Songkran holiday, and then they came back to work with us again. It was also agreed that an online database regarding demand and supply of labor would be set up between Thailand and Cambodia. This would facilitate the sending and receiving of Cambodian workers to work in Thailand on a G2G basis. And regarding the sending, the Cambodian side would have a pre-departure orientation and trainings for Cambodian workers, and on the Thai side, we would protect the rights and welfare of the workers. And we also discussed to continue operating the Thai-Cambodian Skill Development Center in Phnom Penh. And last but not least, we discussed very fruitfully a process where Cambodian migrant workers would be registered legally. We also discussed how to promote seasonal or border employment between Thailand and Cambodia. Yes, that would be all the resolutions that we discussed during the meetings.
All right, now regarding illegal workers in Thailand, what steps will be taken to integrate them into the Thai labor system, and how does Thailand benefit from registering and legitimizing migrant laborers?
All Cambodian migrant workers in Thailand right now would be legally registered. They would have medical checkup and health insurance. The fee will be paid. Work permits, including identification cards, would be provided to them. So they would be all in our Thai labor force. And this would benefit both the Thai employers and the Thai economy as a whole. So the registration process starts from now on. until the end of July this year at our one-stop services centers all over the country. So I like to announce to the employers and the workers who used to have or having passports, work permits, or any other identifications, they may proceed to report and register themselves. Yes.
Now, I mentioned earlier in the beginning that the Cambodian Thai Skill Development Center in Phnom Penh was established in 1996 and then suspended operations for a time. Can you tell us what was the cause of this hiatus?
Because the training center is a bit far from urban communities, and they also rely on our trainers, and we also plan to operate the center more effectively and efficiently from now on, because they also need some dormitories, they also need some trainers from Thailand, and this would be funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, and this would enable us to operate the center more effectively from now on.
Mm-hmm. And
yes.
In addition to operating the center more effectively, what do the Thai and Cambodian governments hope to gain from resuming operations at the center?
We hope to have some training courses going on very soon, within 3 or 4 months, in particular in the fields of mason, bricklayer, or any other fields that may be requested by the Cambodian side. So in the long run, we would plan together between both governments to manage the labor shortage and labor mobility more effectively. Yes.
We're running out of time, but is there anything that you would like to tell our viewers?
So I like to reiterate once again that the meetings, the ministerial meetings, which was led by our Ministry of Labor Thailand, and the efforts are all the success of Thailand and Cambodian spirit of understanding, cooperation, and partnership. So I like to once again inform the employers and the workers to come into a registration process till the end of July, and after Songkran holiday, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much for speaking with us, Kun Suthi. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
And that was Kun Suthi Sukoson, the Inspector General of the Ministry of Labor, speaking to us about the cooperation on illegal labor between Thailand and Cambodia. And on to other news now. A committee under the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, is calling for more public participation in proposing new local laws. At the NRSA sitting on Monday, the Assembly discussed a report from the Committee of Local Administration Reform about expanding public participation in the proposition of local laws. Chairwoman of the committee, Ninad Chalitanon, told the Assembly that the report has been prepared with the intention of ensuring that reform will really take place and encourage members of the public to participate more in the administration of their areas. She stated that such a reform will also need an amendment of the 1999 Act on proposing local ordinance, after it was found that no one has taken part in legislative proposals since the law was enacted. After some period of deliberation, NRSA members reached a majority vote to approve the report, which will accordingly be forwarded to the Cabinet for consideration. And the Government Public Relations Department, or PRD, in Kanchanaburi Province held a ceremony to award civil servants who are recognized as ethical and amicable in the workplace. PRD Director General Aphinan Jantarangsi presided over the opening of the Jam Khun Chai event on Monday. It was held to promote ethics, impartiality, and anti-corruption. PRD personnel from 16 provinces joined the event. The Ethical Amicable Award went to Surin Blang Prasop Chok, a former civil servant of the PRD. And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a break now, but first we'll have a look at the exchange rates and the commodity prices.
If the earth is your home, the ocean is theirs as well. Working together, the government and private sector can solve all the issues currently facing the Thai fishing industry. From legitimizing fishing operations to helping out our fellow fishermen and collaborating with international parties.
ตอนนี้ถึงเวลาแล้วนะครับที่เราจะต้องมาร่วมมือกันทำให้มันถูกต้องมันก็ต้องปรับตัวในช่วงแรกแต่ในระยะยาวมันก็คุ้มค่า
ถ้าไม่มีอาชีพนี้เราก็ไม่รู้จะทำอะไรกันแล้วผมก็พร้อมครับที่จะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในการแก้ปัญหา
Pad Thai created from Thai wisdom used to be served on banana leaf and the banana tree is used for practicing Muay Thai. Muay Thai was trained in the temples, which can be found on the mountains, in the caves, or on the water, everywhere, just like Pad Thai. There are thousands of other stories to discover. Discover your amazing stories in Amazing Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Thailand has enhanced its relations within ASEAN by dispatching representatives to take part in the ASEAN Next Generation Leaders Visit Korea trip organized by the Korea Foundation. Representatives from all 10 countries of ASEAN have been sent to take part in the visit, with Thailand selecting individuals from the Public Relations Department and the Secretariat of the House of Representatives. The ASEAN Next Generation Leaders Visit Korea event is organized annually by the Korea Foundation to bolster ties and exchange experiences among ASEAN member states and South Korea. This year's event began on April 17th and will conclude on April 23rd. ASEAN and South Korea maintain ties through a range of cooperations that include the ASEAN +3 trade collaboration. An ASEAN Korea Center has also been set up in Seoul of South Korea. And now on to news from elsewhere in the world. Quake-ravaged residents of Puerto Viejo pleaded with President Rafael Correa for aid as the Ecuadorian leader toured the site of the 7.8 magnitude quake amidst a race against time to find survivors. Earlier in the day, the death toll from the devastating earthquake rose to 350. More than 2,000 people were injured in Saturday's quake, which ripped apart buildings and roads and knocked out power along the Pacific coastline. More than 13,000 security personnel and rescuers have been mobilized to restore law and order. Soldiers have also brought in search dogs to help find survivors and bodies trapped under the rubble. Korea said the priority for rescue workers was to find people trapped and alive under the ruins of buildings and homes. The United Nations has prepared for a major airlift to Ecuador, and the European Union has released 1 million euros in assistance for quake victims. Coastal provinces of Ecuador are under states of emergency, with bars, restaurants, and clubs closed amidst fears of aftershocks ahead. It has been decades since such a strong quake struck Ecuador. In 1979, a magnitude quake killed at least 600 people and injured 20,000. A building that was being demolished has collapsed in Toronto, injuring as many as 7 people. Toronto Fire Services Captain Michael Westwood told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation that 4 people have been rescued from beneath the structure, with 3 transported to hospital. Another 3 or 4 people were injured and treated at the scene. Westwood said the building appeared to be in the process of demolition, and parts of the building and attached scaffolding had collapsed onto the sidewalk and road in central Toronto. He said rescuers believed they had found all the people injured in the collapse, but were continuing to search the area. Toronto police said on Twitter a canine unit had been sent to assist with the search and rescue. Brazil's President Dilma Rousseff has said she was being unjustly impeached because she has not committed an impeachable crime and vowed to fight until the end to stay in office. In a raucous vote late on Sunday that sparked jubilation among Rousseff's foes, the opposition comfortably surpassed the 2/3 majority needed to send Brazil's first female president for trial in the Senate on charges she manipulated budget accounts. Rousseff's opponents reached the 342 vote mark needed to send her impeachment to the Senate for trial, a major step towards potentially ending 13 years of leftist Workers' Party rule in the divided nation. Speaking to media, Rousseff said she has been wronged by the vote, as she has not committed an impeachable offense. The embattled leader has denied breaking budget laws, but opponents allege that accounting tricks helped her win re-election in 2014 by boosting public spending. Proclaiming her innocence, Rousseff said that her actions while in office have not differed from her predecessors. The impeachment vote has split coalition alliances in Brazil after Rousseff accused her vice president, Michel Temer, of plotting against her. If Rousseff is unseated, Temer will take over. And that is it for today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and have a look at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye with 4 Siberian tiger cubs making their public debut in China's Fujian province. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Hanutsaha. Have a spectacular day. สวัสดีค่ะ